Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There are certainly many issues that deserve our attention today. It's been concerning to hear that the report on the severity of the cultural issues at the FDIC and workplace problems at the chair level. From the report, it appears that repairing this situation will be an all-consuming task. If this same activity had occurred at a financial institution by a bank executive, I can only imagine how the response would be dramatically and very different. Confidence in our banking regulators matters. Leadership matters. In addition to the top-down cultural overhaul, there are many important policy issues that the FDIC must be focused on that impact all sectors of the economy. The actions of the banking agencies have a profound effect on the folks back home. One particular area of concern I've focused on is the Basel proposal's impact on our ag and energy producers, which our constituents depend on to keep food and power both affordable and reliable. The proposal that has generated an unprecedented response from all sectors of the economy. And Mr. Chairman, I'd like to enter a few letters into the record that discuss the impact. A joint agricultural trade association letter, a joint energy trade association letter, and lastly, a letter from the American Public Power Association and the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association.
Without objection.
I hope you all have the opportunity to review these comments and others from sectors of the economy that typically wouldn't be compelled to weigh in on these issues, which speaks to the breadth and consequences of the current proposal. Another thought along those lines, I'd like to further underscore a consequence from the Basel endgame proposal that stems from the increased capital requirements to engage in client clearing activities. In Dodd-Frank, Congress mandated central clearing as a way to reduce risk in the system. However, the number of banks that can clear derivatives for end users has reduced over time, making it more difficult to find a bank to offer this service. And I have a real concern that the Basel requirements will significantly constrain the capacity of banks to offer central clearing. We should be careful not to reduce market access, particularly at the same time that the SEC is mandating clearing in the Treasury market. I've spoken with Chairman Powell, Secretary Yellen, CFTC Chairman Brennan about this issue, and they've all assured me that this is an area they're following closely. First to Chairman Grunberg and then to Vice Chairman Barr. Clearing is a risk-reducing function for the market, but the endgame proposal actively penalizes that activity. How do you reconcile this policy contradiction?
Thank you, Congressman. That is one of the key issues in the report. Clearing and derivatives was a major focus of attention during the 2008 financial crisis and has been a focus of attention in the Basel Capital Accord. We have received a lot of comments on this issue. I acknowledge the points you're raising. This is still a work in progress, as Vice Chairman Barr has indicated. We are taking careful attention to all of the comments we received, including in regard to this.
Vice Chairman?
We're taking those comments very seriously. I agree with you that central clearing is an important way that we reduce risks in the financial system. We've received comments on client cleared derivatives in a number of areas of the proposal, and we're taking those quite seriously.
I believe your agencies have a responsibility to ensure that bank capital standards do not unnecessarily discourage central clearing. Market participants on the clearing side and the end user side are warning us of what's to come. Again, I urge a complete reproposal here. Make the material changes necessary and then allow Congress and the public to weigh in. The consequences of getting this wrong are too severe. Now, in my remaining time, another issue I've heard concerns about is the FDIC's corporate governance proposal. The guidelines as proposed would be a significant departure from existing practices. The proposal is aimed at banks with much lower asset size than the corporate governance regimes at Fed and OCC, are so far more prescriptive. Board of directors play an essential leadership role for a bank and should be held to a high standard. Chair Grunberg, could you elaborate on this and clarify if it is a high priority of yours to ensure the proposal is in line with the OCC and Fed?
Thank you, Congressman. It is a proposal for comment. We are receiving comment. In that proposal, we indeed indicated that institutions over $10 billion would be subject under the proposal. We did consult with the standards used by the Federal Reserve and the OCC, which set a $50 billion standard. We're receiving comment on that, and that is something we're paying attention to.
My time has expired, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Gentleman from New York, Mr.